All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Octagon Jordan, back in your life. So, I am feeling pretty good right now. I decided to switch it up, so now's the time for everybody to grab their beverage, grab their smoke, grab their joint, whatever y'all like to get into. I picked up a little bit of fucking whiskey tonight, you know what I mean? You know what I fucking mean? It's St. Patty's Day fucking weekend, man. Yeah, that was Jamaican and Conor McGregor combined. I understand. So sit down, shut up, do what you're fucking told. I'm the biggest cock in the UFC. No one is gonna fuck me wife unless you beat me in a fight. Alright? Alright, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I had two of these before I got on here, so bear with me here, alright? Anyway. We got UFC Fight Night Atlantic City. Aaron Blanchfield versus Manon Farrow. I'm fucking terrible with her name. Maybe it's because she's French. I don't know. Cyril Gahn. Ariel, I will not fight on Masvidal. He's lower than me in the rankings. And, I just finished Sergey Spivak by submission. I do not feel that I need to fight on Masvidal. I number one contender. I fucking get my ass kicked by Francis Ngannou and John Jones and have a big hole in my game with my grappling, but I do not feel I need to... All right. Anyway, your boy, Octagon Jordan, I'm going to this event, Atlantic City, Boardwalk Hall, 10 o'clock main card, 7 p.m. prelims. I'm going to be there, lower level, 5th row. If they pan up, look for your boy. Look for Octagon. I'm going to wear a customized, personalized shirt. My girlfriend's getting it going for me. It's going to be an Octagon Jordan shirt. So everybody lock in. Everybody tune in and keep an eye out for your boy. But this is going to be the picks for the card. I can't wait. I'm hoping I stay awake long enough for the card. Well, I know I'll stay awake for it, obviously, but I'm hoping I remember a lot of it. Obviously, I'm going to have to go back, rewatch a lot of the fights before I make my post-fight breakdown. But I'm going to be live streaming. I'm going to be making some TikToks, some shorts, things along those lines. I know on the MMA Hour that New York Rick, he just decided not to book a hotel. He didn't give a fuck. He didn't give a blix. He said, you know what? I'm going to go to the event. I'm going to enjoy the show. I'm going to enjoy the scraps. And then I'm going to go play poker until 6 a.m. And I'm going to get my ass the fuck out of there. Respect, New York Rick. So I'll see you there, brother. I'll be on the roulette table with my brother. And, we'll be throwing it all down on black. Maybe odd, black, odd, somewhere in that range. And we're hoping to win some money. So let's get right into our picks here. Let's see what the fuck is good with UFC Atlantic City. Let's make some money on our bets. And then we'll go right over to the roulette table. We'll throw it all on odd because it always hits. It always hits. Oh, yeah, by the way, check out my new short today. Evil Knievel jumping over Sugar Sean O'Malley. You got Octagon Jordan hitting the sweet chin music. We got all that good shit. So, first fight of the night, Angel Pacheco against Kolan Loughran. So, I know Loughran is a highly touted prospect out of Ireland. I actually watched him on the last card. He was on the Paris card when Gans fought Spivak, funny enough. And he did not impress me. He did not impress me whatsoever. He looked pretty typical, pretty normal stance, takedown ability, not really there. Strong guy, stocky guy. Obviously good wrestler with people his size, but that's not how it works in UFC. These people weight cut, brother. You're not going to be the bigger guy in there. This isn't high school. This isn't college wrestling. All right. I don't believe in Loughran. Angel Pacheco, he's decent. Don't really know much about him. Not gonna lie to y'all. But I'm gonna go with Angel Pacheco here. I'm not impressed with Loughran whatsoever. He didn't have any finishing ability. He showed lackluster ability to get to the floor, minimal jiu-jitsu. So you just can't back Loughran in this fight. Andre Petrosky against Jacob Malkoun. Very interesting scrap here. We got both guys coming off losses. Petrosky coming off getting starched by Michel Pereira, one of my new favorite middleweights. Michel Pereira is an absolute problem. So can't really fault Andre Petrosky for that loss. Jacob Malkoun coming off a loss to Cody Brundage by DQ. was fairly dominant. Kind of dominating the fight outside of the first 45 seconds. Got his back, was wrestling, was controlling him. Hit that illegal elbow to the back of the head. You just got to be smart in there. I know the adrenaline's ripping. I've been there before when the adrenaline takes over and you get in that fight or flight mode, that kill or be killed mode that you're not really thinking in there. I haven't been in an octagon. I haven't been in an MMA fight, but I've been scrapping with some of my boys. We've been out back wrestling, throwing down, doing little submissions, things along those lines. And even that gets the blood pumping, gets the heart rate up. Afterward, you pin your boy. That heart rate's ripping. That heart rate's ripping. I need a Marlboro 27 fucking stat after that. So, I understand, but these guys got to be smarter in there. Malkoun, you can't be doing those illegal shots. I saw him get starched by Phil Halls. I still believe in Petrosky, even though, Michel Pereira starched Petrosky, but Michel's a different beast. I know Petrosky, he fights out of Philly. I'm going Petrosky here. I think he's got more weapons. I think he's got better stand-up. He held his own with Gerald Meerschaert. We just saw Gerald Meerschaert dominate Brian Barberena. And even though Malkoun is a wrestler, a grappler, he can definitely hold his own with Petrosky. I just think Petrosky's more well-rounded, better striking, better overall game. I think, it's going to be one of those wrestler, negate each other, and keep it on the feet. I think Petrosky's going to get it done by third round TKO. Victoria Datakova versus Melissa Gatto. Yeah, not going to lie to you boys. Know nothing about either woman. I'm going to go with Victoria Datakova. Sometimes you just got to go with your gut, MMA is so fucking random, so just weird. You can know either guy, the ins and outs, what they like to do, what their weakness is, and it doesn't matter anyway, especially when it comes to women's MMA. It's pretty much a coin flip regardless, so I'm always going to go with the Russian, and I'm going with her. Iban Aslan versus Anton Turkali, the Pleasure Man. Anton Turkali, I apologize. So this is a rematch. I know Anton Turkali won the first fight by ground and pound against Iban Aslan. And I looked into Aslan's record a little bit. He's fighting cans. He's fighting guys that are under 500. Guys that are just terrible, guys that you find in a bar. It's funny because you always think of fighting like, they're fighting. Who's the tougher guy? Who's the bigger guy? But there's professional MMA fighters out there that are literally 4-10, that are literally 5-8, that you don't think about when you just watch UFC. You just see these guys come off Dana White's Contender Series that are 8-2, 7-0, 5-0, 10-2. And you're like, this is just the cookie cutter typical prospect. When no, 80% of the guys are 80% of the guys are 4-5, 10-11, 2-7. These guys are out there. There's guys out there that are getting absolutely smoked on the regional scene that keep coming back because they're getting paid $1,000, they're getting paid $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, whatever it might be. So some of these prospects who come in, similar to an Anton Turkali, who came in with a good record, and similar to Iban Aslan, Iban, whatever the fuck, Jesus Christ, it's a little inflated. It's similar to that guy that Jamal Emmers fought, that Russian cat who was 30-0, came in, fought Jamal Emmers. Jamal Emmers, I'm not going to call him a journeyman, but, he's kind of a gatekeeper. You beat him, you can fight a top 15 guy. They just matched him up with Nate the Train. They want to see where Nate the Train's at. And, he beat the 30-0 guy. So you got to be careful with some of these guys' records. And even though this is a rematch here, I know Anton Turkali, the Pleasure Man. I guess he pleasured Tyson Pedro way too much. Kicked his ass out of the UFC. But I'm going Anton Turkali here. I think he's got more experience. I know he lost this guy before, but he's got UFC experience. His back's up against the wall. We just saw it with Jarno Aarons on this last card. Back against the wall, 0-2 in the UFC. These guys come out fighting for their life. So I'm hoping to see that from Turkali here. And I got him winning. Dennis Bazookia versus Connor Matthews. Dennis Bazookia. Oh, man. Ray Longo's guy, man. Dennis Bazooka. Yeah, no. Can't pick Dennis Bazooka. I don't care. He could be going up against, Smiling Sam Alvey. He could be going up against, I don't know, who's a terrible featherweight. He could be going up against fucking Ryan Hall. I'm not picking this guy. I'm just not. I don't care. I don't care about the hype. I don't care about the words. I don't care if they trains with Aljo or Matt the Steamroller, Ray Longo. I don't care. Some of these guys you could tell when the bright lights are on and they're at the big show with the crowd and the stands and the announcers and their face on the big board, they just don't show up. It's similar to any sport, NBA, NFL. There's a lot of guys that look good in college. They get drafted first round, second round, and they don't show up. They're terrible. They get cut. It happens. It happens. So Connor Matthews all day. Dennis Bazooka, he's not cut out for this game, at least not at the professional UFC level. Maybe send him over to PFL, get him in a tournament. Who knows? Maybe he can strike lightning in a bottle. Might be able to make himself $1 million. I don't know. $1 million is fucking a lot of money. So I think that's the best route for him. There's nothing for him in the UFC. Even if he does pull this win off, there's nothing for him in the UFC. I would go over to PFL, try your luck at that tournament, see if maybe you can fluke your way to $1 million. I think that's the best bet for him. So we'll see what happens. Julio Arce against Herbert Burns. Not much to say about this fight. Neither guy's really going anywhere. Julio Arce has been finished a couple times in the UFC. Gilbert Burns embarrassed himself in his last outing. Got winded against Bill Algeo, King of Prussia guy. Shout out, Bill. Yeah, I'm from that area as well. Love the KO Pete Mall. Shit fucking rocks. Hold on. Need some of that proper 12. The proper 12. Yeah, I was feeling dangerous tonight, so I had to whip it out. Herbert Burns, yeah, he doesn't have that dog in him. Whatever Gilbert Burns is born with, he took it all. Because Herbert Burns ain't got it. He's got some technique. He's got some skills. But he doesn't have that dog. That dog. You got to be a dog. We don't want no kitty cats. Meow. Meow. No. You got to be a dog. And Gilbert Burns ain't a dog. He ain't a dog. So he ain't going to get it done here. Julio Arce, finish. Verna Jandaroba against Lupi Godinez. Jandaroba wins ugliest UFC fighter in the organization. Let's give it up to her. All right. It's not her fault. Interesting matchup. We got a Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu. Who say I ain't got no jiu-jitsu? Specialist against Lupi Godinez. Lupi's look good. She's look real good. She's on a win streak right now. She's been beating some good opponents. She has 1 or 2 losses in the UFC. I wish I could. Oh yeah, I got this shit. 13-3 against 19-3. That's all it shows. All right, whatever. I gotta go to typology for the next one. Sorry, guys. Sorry, boys. But Lupi, she's hot right now. She's on a win streak. She's had a couple losses in the UFC, but it's been by decision. Verna Jandaroba, she's a one-trick pony. And if we've learned anything from watching the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years of UFC, you can't be a one-trick pony. You got to have striking. You got to have ground game. You got to have wrestling. You got to have it all. Because these people are scouting now. They're watching tape. If these fighters aren't watching tape, you're fucking stupid. I'm sorry. I can't stand it when Ariel or, one of these MMA shows, Brett Okamoto interviews these motherfuckers and they're like, yeah, no, I don't watch my opponent. I just focus on myself. I just focus on improving my skills and thinking about what I can do to them. Yeah, great. You can do that. You can fucking do that. But, the NFL, the NBA, they're all working on their skills. They're all in practice, but the coaches are watching tape. Where's the weakness? John Jones, Cyril Gane. You're going to take him to the ground. Aljamain Sterling, Petr Yan. You're going to take him to the ground. Who's another person? Curtis Blades, Gelton Almeida. You're going to sprawl and brawl. You're going to keep it off the ground. You're going to keep it striking. You have to watch tape. I don't get it. But anyway, I don't believe in the one-trick ponies. I think Lupi gets it done here. I think she's more well-rounded. I don't see her getting submitted whatsoever. I think she's strong at this weight class. I think she's just as good as John DeRoba. I think this is an easy win for Lupe Godinez. I think she should be an easy minus 350 or 250 minus 250. I apologize, and I think that's an easy pick. Here's my boy Jamal Emmers. I just touched on him going up against Nate the Train. Nate the Train in the UFC, baby. Nate the Train in the UFC. Choo-choo. Got Jamal Emmers here. I just think he's more well-rounded. Piggybacking off the last fight I just talked about. Nate the Train, he's a good striker. You know, he's been finished in the UFC. He got finished by Herbert Burns. It's not a good look. You know, he had that amazing fight with David Onama. I watched that live. I was in South Carolina on vacation with my girlfriend's father. We were hanging out by the pool. I had on my laptop, you know, beautiful weather, palm trees next to us. It was an amazing back and forth scrap. David Onama was there to fight. But the thing about that is David Onama, he's a one-trick pony as well. He's a striker. So striker, it came down to the battle of wills, you know, the battle of cardio. Jamal Emmers, he can do it all. He can wrestle. He can stay at range. He can point fight. You know, he doesn't typically get into wars. You don't see Jamal Emmers bleeding much. You see Nate the Train bleeding almost every fight. That should tell you something. That should tell you something when you're thinking about these fights. Who gets into wars and who doesn't? Who uses tactics and who doesn't? And Jamal Emmers uses tactics. He uses in and out movement. He uses defense. He uses grappling. Nate the Train's a brawler. He's going to come right at your fucking neck. He's going to come right at you, brawling, trying to knock you the fuck out. Jamal Emmers, I like it. On to the main card. We got Chidi Njokuani against Reese McKee. It's a good fight. I can't wait. Me and my brother are going to be in the stands. You know, he's going to be hopping on FanDuel. I know we're going to have some funds in the account. The drinks are going to be flowing. I want to go Chidi here. I do want to go Chidi here. I really like Chidi Njokuani, man. I'm a fan of him. I like him. He's tall. He's lanky. He's a warrior. He knocks people the fuck out. He's got a deep ass voice. Yeah, man. My brother was in the UFC and I just had to know they had to fuck out. Yeah, I'm just so glad for the... I can't even do it. Look him up. I can't do it. But I don't even want to say he's been exposed in his last couple fights because he gave Gregory Rodriguez a Grand Canyon on his forehead. Ended up getting gassed out, getting outpaced, and breaking. Got TKO'd. Didn't even get KO'd. Same with Mikhail Olszewski. Same story. Blew his fucking wad, trying to finish him, wobbled Mikhail Olszewski, wobbled him badly, blew his load, and he got TKO'd. Again. It's not encouraging to see. You know, I hate to criticize it because these guys are warriors every time they step in the cage. And I wouldn't do it at all. But to give up, you know, to just blow your load, go for the finish when you don't get it, just kind of give up, roll over, curl up, have the ref step in. It's not a good look. You know, there's so many guys out there like Edmund Shabazian or Dustin Poirier, you know, who are never, ever going to give up until they go out cold. And I'm not criticizing Chidi for that because I'm not going to be one to get in the ring. So kudos for his bravery getting in the ring. But I don't like that. At the same time, Reese McKee's 0-4 in the UFC. 0-4 in the fucking UFC. Guy sucks. Guy's a pussy. You can tell he's beta. You can tell he doesn't have much testosterone. I don't know what they got going on over there, Cage Warriors. He keeps getting cut and having 3-fight win streak over there, Cage Warriors. But it's just a weird fight. I don't like the odds. I don't like Chidi at minus 170. If it was more of a pick 'em, I would pick Chidi. But at these odds, if you're going to bet, definitely McKee is the bet. If I'm going to pick who wins the fight, I'm going to pick Chidi to win the fight. So my official pick is Chidi, but if you're betting money, the value's on Reese McKee. Bill Algeo versus Kyle Nelson. Not much to say here. You know, Bill Algeo, he's a pace guy. Doesn't have much KO power, but has great cardio. He's going to touch you. Similar to a Max Holloway. Yeah, he's a poor man's Max Holloway against Kyle Nelson. Kyle Nelson, I've doubted his last couple fights. I thought he was going to get cut by the UFC. He's showing some promise against Doo Ho Choi, against Blake Builder, who turned out to be a fraud. But I just think Bill Algio's crisper in everything he does. This one's 100% going to decision. The bet here is definitely the over. I don't know even what it's at. Probably 2.5. Definitely the over is money. The over's money here. But I think Algio's just crisper in every discipline. So I think he can outpoint Nelson. Bill Algio by decision is definitely the best bet in this one. Nursultan Ruzaboyev against Cedriquez Dumas. 21 Savage on that card. 21. Yeah, so, my brother texted me. He said 21 Savage is fighting. I was like, well, I was a little thrown off, a little shook. I was like, what do you mean? You see something, are you being trolled? But he sent me a screenshot of Dumas. What's that 121 Savage song? I'm trying to remember. Money in my account, got a lot of it. A lot of that, got a lot of that. Money in my account, got a lot of that. That's a lot. That's a lot. I got bread. That's a lot. Something along those lines. It's not a fucking cross. It's a knife. It's a knife. It's a knife. It's a knife. It's a knife for the fucking night. A boy of the night. Yeah, no, I'm trying to get back in there. But yeah. Anyway, Ruzaboyev, we've only seen him in that one scrap against Ferreira. Look good. Look real good. I know he's got a crazy record. He's fought so many times. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't do my research on him, but he looked composed. He's from Uzbekistan. Dumas has not looked too impressive in any of his fights. So I'm not sure. I don't think Dumas has that finishing instinct, that killer instinct. He's won his fights by grappling, by points. No knock. It definitely doesn't have knockout power. I don't see him submitting Ruzaboyev, so the only way he's going to win is by controlling Ruzaboyev on the ground, grappling him, and winning a decision. I don't see it happening. Ruzaboyev is my official pick. I think by second round stoppage. I'm going TKO, Ruzaboyev. Chris Weidman against Bruno Silva. Interesting matchmaking here. Don't agree with the odds. I'm not sure what the UFC is doing with Chris Weidman. They seem a little bit confused. I don't know if they're trying to build up Bruno Silva. I don't know what they're doing with Bruno Silva, to be honest with you. They gave him Wellington Turman. He had a highlight reel KO. Then they gave him Alex Pereira. He had a decent fight with Alex Pereira. Didn't get finished. Went all 3 rounds. Went to decision. Then they gave him Brad Tavares. He won that fight against Brad Tavares, who's been kind of a gatekeeper of the top 15. But then he lost to Gerald Mearshart by KO. And then, he lost to Magomed Sharabulit. So I don't understand. I mean, are they trying to build Bruno Silva? Do they think he's an easy win for Chris Weidman? I mean, Chris Weidman is 40 and he just lost to Brad Tavares. Bruno Silva beat Brad Tavares and fought 3 rounds with Alex Pereira. So I'm not sure here. It's hard to predict. I'm going to be rooting for Chris Weidman, but yeah, fuck it. I'm picking Chris Weidman. Plus 225 odds. Too good. If he was plus 170, I would probably go Silva. But at plus 225, former world champion, Weidman saying he's feeling the best of all time. He's taking some new supplement pills. Heard on the Ray Longo Minute. He's taking some new supplement pills. He doesn't have any pain in his legs. Bruno Silva's kind of a one-trick pony. Good striker. He doesn't do anything too crazy. So I'm going Chris Weidman. I'm going decision. I think he takes him down, lays on him, and wins the decision. Chris Weidman plus 220. Underdog lock. Fucking take it. Let's go. Vicente Luque against Joaquin Buckley. This one should be a fucking war. I can't wait. Hopefully by this time I'm $300 deep in alcohol because every beer at these events costs $20 for one fucking Miller Lite. And I don't like beer. I don't like light beer. I want an IPA. I want a fucking Imperial Stout, double IPA. Give me some whiskey on the rocks. Good thing we're in Atlantic City. Get some free drinks to the roulette table. But we'll see. We'll see if I remember this one. I'll probably have to go, rewatch it for you boys. But it's an interesting fight. Vicente, if this would have been 4 years ago, Vicente Luque, all day. Not even a question in my mind. But coming off that brain bleed to Jeff Neal, coming off that lackluster decision win over Rafael dos Anjos, where his striking did not look dangerous whatsoever. Fighting a 155er, coming up to 170. Joaquin Buckley's a 185er, going down to 170. I don't like it for Vicente Luque. I don't like it. I don't think he's going to be able to grapple Buckley. I think he's going to be too strong. He's going to be able to get out of any grappling exchanges. Think about it. Vicente Luque fought Brian Barberena, who is the worst grappler in the world. Loses to everybody by grappling. Mearshart, RDA, all these fucking people. Gunnar Nelson. And Vicente Luque had a war with that guy. A fucking war. And you think he's going to hold down Buckley? Darce choke Buckley? Like he did to Michael Chiesa? No, he's not going to hold down Buckley. And I don't think he's got that same tenacity on the feet. He had a brain bleed, guys. A brain fucking bleed. That changes you. That changes your mentality. I don't care what he says. It's the same with Chris Weidman's leg. He's like, yeah, I don't know if I could throw leg kicks. If you break your arm, I don't know if I could throw punches the same. If you have a brain bleed, I don't know if I could take shots the same. He's going to be thinking about that. And he's fighting a war horse in Joaquin Buckley, a guy who's young, up and coming, wants main events, wants pay-per-view spots, wants the belt, wants money, hungry as fuck. Joaquin Buckley, KO. He's going to KO Vicente Luque, a la Jeff Neal. And I think Luque's career's over, guys. I really do. I think he's done. I think he's done. With his fight style, he can't continue like this. And he's not a grappler by trade. I think Buckley knocks him the fuck out. Aaron Blanchfield against Manon Farrow. Tricky fight. I don't like the odds in this fight, but hold on one second. I don't want to go too long here. I feel like I've been long-winded. I'm going Aaron Blanchfield. She's been more impressive to me. Manon Farrow, she's a good striker. You know, her fight against Rose Namajunas, decent. Outstruck her, 1-0 points. But she hasn't been overly impressive. I can't even really remember any impressive performances against anyone of note. I know she has a couple knockouts against some no-namers. But Aaron Blanchfield's fought Jessica Andrade, a chick with most KOs in women's history. She's fought Talia Santos, girl who went toe-to-toe with Valentina Shevchenko. She fought Molly McCann, who has huge bombs in her hands, knockout power. She's seen it all, so I don't think Manon is going to scare her whatsoever. I think it's the Aaron Blanchfield time. I think she's going to beat Farrow. I think she's going to beat Grasso or Shevchenko. Don't hold me on that because I really like Grasso, actually. So don't hold me on that. But Aaron Blanchfield's going to win this fight. Yeah. Aaron Blanchfield all day. And then Atlantic City crowd goes fucking crazy. We go fucking wild. I see Connor Burks, New York Rick at the fucking poker table. We're winning cash. We're winning fucking cash. So the parlay of the day is Blanchfield, Buckley, Bill Algeo, and Connor Matthews. 4-leg parlay. Matthews, Algeo, Buckley, Blanchfield. Lay the dough. Let's get the bread. Octagon Jordan. Thanks for tuning in. Love you guys. Let's see what happens at Atlantic City. Your boy will be there. 5th row, lower level. Tune in.